the room are known to you, already. You know the people who are sitting inside the room, and you heard their voice. Already you must have heard their voice. So that is the situation. You are hearing their voice now, and in that situation you can clearly identify whose voice is coming out, who is talking louder, who is talking what any particular person is talking. You can identify just by standing outside the room without seeing them. And in another example, suppose you are walking on the road during night time and it is dark, and on the nearer to some other place, but you can hear the voice, some two persons are talking with each other. But in that darker part, you are not able to see them, but you can hear the voice. By hearing their voice, you can clearly identify whose voice is this. If you know them, then you can clearly identify whose voice, who is talking what. And this is all due to that quality of sound produced by any source, any instrument, any person. So that means to distinguish the voice, to distinguish the sound from any source, which characteristics of sound is used? Quality is used. So quality is the characteristics of sound which is used to distinguish the different sound. Distinguish one sound from the other. This quality. So that's why, even suppose you are going to a function and there are a lot of people. In that crowd, suppose you are separated from your family and you are crying. From your crying, your parents are able to identify your voice, your crying voice, even at the longer distance. If your parents are at longer distance and they are able to hear that crying of sound, then definitely they are able to identify this is the sound of our son or daughter. This is due to the quality of sound. So, we have completed the three characteristics of sound. Now, after this, the characteristics of sound, let us move on to that. The sound is produced from any source. Suppose this is the source from where the sound is produced. Sound is produced due to vibration of particles of the material, of the surface of material. And this sound can be heard from all the sides. Suppose a person who is at some distance from the source is able to hear the sound. So what happens? The sound produced from the source definitely be traveled from the source to the person. Then only the person will be able to hear the sound. That means the sound has traveled from the source to any particular distance. And at that point, if a person stands, then he will be able to hear the sound. For this, the sound is traveling. When anything travels, then definitely it must have the speed. So sound is also traveling with some speed. it is also traveling with some speed. Then this sound is traveling okay from one place to another place. That's why we people are able to hear the sound from TV. You are sitting at some distance from TV. You are hearing the sound. It is because the sound is traveling from the speaker to you. So you are able to hear that sound. So the sound is traveling with some speed. Then with how much speed it is traveling. And through what material, or we can ask that, does the material required or not required for the traveling of sound? That can be asked. With what speed? What is the speed it is traveling? And through what substance it is traveling? It can be asked. First we'll see through what substance it is traveling. Through what substance it is traveling. The substance through which the sound is traveling, in between the source and the person, something may be placed. Something. That something means some substance may be placed. That substance through which the sound is traveling is known as medium. It is known as medium. Medium means the substance through which sound travels. And the medium may be solid, liquid, or gases. It means the sound can travel through all states of matter. It can travel through solids, travel through liquids, travel through gases also. Through all substances, it can travel from one place to another place. And on the other hand, we can say, to carry the sound, to travel the sound from one place to another place, definitely what is required? Medium is required. Here we were talking about sound travels through all the states of matter. In the reverse, we can say, for the traveling of sound, definitely the medium is required. Definitely the medium is required. Without medium, it cannot travel. Without medium, that means when nothing present. Nothing present means it is vacuum. It is vacuum. Vacuum means where no air particles present. Through vacuum, the sound cannot travel from one place to another place. So, medium is required. Then how can we show that through vacuum it cannot travel? And with what speed they travel, the sound travel from one place to another place? That we'll discuss in the next session.